So we've covered the best goalkeepers, defenders, midfielders and strikers in the up and coming season of FPL from previous years. But now I'm going to give you my picks of players who I think could return to form or who are on the rise coming up next. What's up guys, JNO here and welcome to JNO United, bringing you the best in football news, entertainment and game. And today we're looking at the players that could return to form or that are on the rise. But before we get into that, here's where I usually would say subscribe, like the video and leave a comment down below. But today, what I'm going to do instead is say thank you so much to everyone who has joined us recently, and thank you to everyone who has come back to the channel for this FPL season. The reaction so far to 30 Days of FPL and the new player analysis series has been absolutely outstanding, and we have jumped up in subscribers so much recently. Probably the biggest jump I've had since I initially started this channel a year ago. And I just want to say thank you so much if you've watched and taken the time out of your day to watch me give my opinions, and if you've liked what you've seen, the fact that you've subscribed means the world to me, so thank you so much. And let's get on with what you're here for. Let's get on with the stats. So the first player we're going to go with, and there's quite a few of these in this, is a Chelsea player, and it's Diego Costa. Now the reason we're going with Diego Costa is because when he initially came to England he had an absolutely outstanding season, and the fact is his stats last season weren't really bad compared to the fact that he was in a Chelsea side that were really underperforming. But if we have a look at his previous stats from 2014-2015, we can see that he was a bit of a beast as long as he stayed fit. He only played 26 times, but he scored 20 goals in those 26 appearances. He also added 3 assists to that and created 41 chances for his team in total. Those are the kind of stats of a striker that is a good fit for the Premier League, and maybe he'll return to form under Conte in the Barclays Premier League this season. Next is Daniel Sturridge, and I think we all remember the year when he had an outstanding season alongside Suarez. In 2013-2014, he had 29 appearances and scored 22 goals, also bagging himself 7 assists. Now if he can stay fit, he is actually a player who can score goals. His Premier League goal scoring record is still great to this day. He just doesn't play that often. So fingers crossed we could have a cheap striker on our hands, or relatively cheap compared to the big guns, that could get us those big FPL points. And it's another Chelsea player as we look at Eden Hazard. In the 2014-2015 season, Eden Hazard played every single game for Chelsea. In that season, he scored 14 goals and got 9 assists, creating 99 chances for his side, had 78 attempts on goal, 52 of those attempts came from inside the box, which is fantastic for a midfielder, and which is why last year I said he was a must-have, and then got proven really badly wrong. But the season before that he was a big hitter as well. In the 2013-2014 season he had 32 appearances and scored 14 goals again. That season he only got 7 assists and had 73 attempts inside the box. And in the 2013-2014 season he was a big hitter as well. He only played 32 games, but in those games he got 14 goals and 7 assists. With 73 attempts on goal, 46 of which came from inside the box. He also created 92 chances for his side. So if Eden Hazard returns to form, he could be a must-have yet again. Now we go to Liverpool, and Liverpool have really strengthened their side recently, but Philippe Coutinho could be an amazing player this season for you in FPL. Even if we just look at last year's stats, although the points may not have been there, the performance was, as far as goal threat goes. In 26 appearances, he had 111 attempts on goal. The only problem with Coutinho is he's a long distance shooter. 42 of those attempts came from inside the box. But if he manages to find his range, and if he gets some better chances created for him instead of having to create them for himself sometimes, Philippe Coutinho is the type of player that could set the league alight, and that Liverpool side is looking better and better with each transfer they make. Hopefully they gel, and hopefully Sturridge and Coutinho will bring us in the FPL points. Another side that are improving themselves is Crystal Palace, and that makes me look at Yannick Bolasie. In the 2014-2015 season, he didn't do amazingly, but his underlying stats show that in 34 appearances, option for a lot of people at the start of last season. But his underlying stats in the 2014-2015 season show 34 appearances, he had 70 attempts on goal. 35 of them, which is 50%, came from inside the box. Now with better players around him, who knows how explosive he could be if the fixtures allow it, or if Crystal Palace just go on a good run of form. Back to Anfield and we're looking at Roberto Firmino. He had a good season last season, but I think it could get even better. In 31 appearances, he scored 10 goals. He had 63 attempts on goal, 40 of which came from inside the box. Now, with Coutinho, Firmino, Sturridge, now Wijnaldum and Sadio Mane, that is a lot of attacking power right there. Someone is going to have to put the ball in the back of the net. My money is on Sturridge or Firmino, maybe Coutinho and Mane as well. Now we're going to White Hart Lane and we're looking at Erik Lamela. Erik Lamela came to Tottenham with big fanfare after Tottenham sold Gareth Bale to Real Madrid, but he has failed to impress until last season. Under Pochettino, in 34 appearances he got 5 goals and 9 assists, and if he keeps improving, he keeps getting used to the way the Premier League is played, that could get better. He had 58 attempts on goal, 48 of which came from inside the box, and created 75 chances for his teammates. If Tottenham are still playing as well as they did last season, apart from at the end, then Erik Lamela could be someone that brings you in FPL points. Up next we're looking at Aaron Ramsey, who had a great Euro 2016 and has had seasons where he has been a must-have midfielder. In the 2015-2016 season, he didn't set the world alight, but the stats were still there to suggest it could get better. In 31 appearances he scored 5 goals, but he had 70 attempts on goal, 44 of which came from inside the box. But the reason we're all looking at him is 2013-2014 season, in only 23 appearances he scored 10 goals and got 8 assists in only 23 appearances. If you had Ramsey at the right time, you were laughing in 2013-2014. Now, I've mentioned this player before, but we're looking at Dusan Tadic. I just have a feeling inside that he will have a great season this season. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just wind, but I do believe Dusan Tadic will have a good season this season. Last season, he had 34 appearances in total, managed to get 8 goals and 12 assists. That isn't the best in the league, but that is definitely a good return. He had 58 attempts on goal, 35 of which came from inside the box. More importantly, he created 73 chances for his team. Now, it does depend on how this new Southampton side get along under a new manager, but I just have this feeling, and I could be so wrong, but I'm going to put that feeling out there. Another player from Southampton, we're looking at Nathan Redmond. Now, Nathan Redmond had good stats for someone who was playing at a relegation side last year. In 34 appearances, yes, he only got 1 goal, but he had 66 attempts on goal, 20 of which came from inside the box, and Norwich often were under the cosh against teams, so the fact he didn't get that many goals doesn't suggest to me that he won't get many at Southampton if it all clicks. And the last player we'll look at is under the former Southampton manager, Ronald Koeman, and it's at Everton, and it's Kevin Miralles. Now, Kevin Miralles has always been a very attacking midfielder and has always been capable of scoring goals. But the season that makes me think he could have another breakout season is the 2013-2014 season. In that season he had 32 appearances and he scored 9 goals in total from 81 attempts on goal. 47 of those 81 attempts came from inside the box. Now, maybe he just wasn't appreciated under Roberto Martinez. Koeman is a new manager. Hopefully he's got something to prove. Maybe he even wants to put himself in the transfer window so another club comes and signs him. Whatever reason, if he starts performing, I don't care. I hope Kevin Miralles has a good season so I can pick him up and get some FPL points. Anyway guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you've enjoyed my look at the players I think could have a good season, that have some sort of history to suggest that they could have. I've been JNO, you've been awesome, and remember, it's all about the game.